live.
Woo!
Woohoo! We're back.
Hola. Yeah, week 3. Welcome to all our faithful followers. Big Brother 902.
I'm going to link this while you talk.
All right. I'm Melissa, and Lindsay is in the midst of posting our link to Twitter/Facebook right now, so that anybody who wants to tune in live will be able to watch with us live. Anybody that shows up later, hey to you too. Thanks for showing up later. We are here to break down the week 2 of Big Brother. So we'll go over the week, and then at the end we will go through the feeds and a little bit of spoilers. So we'll warn you before that happens. And that'll be at the end of our episode. So as soon as Lindsay has the link, post it to our BB Breakdown 902 Twitter, and
I'm doing it right now.
We will get on with it. It's been a good week of Big Brother for sure.
It has been.
Opening up. I've been so addicted to feeds. It's unbelievable. I've been following, for anyone that follows our Twitter account, they know that I've been following Tim around like a lost fangirl via my iPad.
He is attractive and he's so funny.
He's just so smart. I love his strategic mindset. Like, I just love it. And he's just, for a fan of the game, he's just someone that you just want to play the game for as long as they possibly can and potentially win it. And I would be okay with that. I would be okay. Yeah, for sure.
I'm back. Everything is tweeted. We've done our job. I've done my part.
Cheers to that.
Oh, what did I do here?
12-hour day shift.
Oh, gross. I mean, you did a good thing. Yeah.
Oh, let's jump into it. Let's talk about veto. Last week's veto was spin it to win it. Christine was a surprising huge competitor in this. She really wanted that money. She went for it and she won it.
Yeah.
Were you surprised by the house guests' reaction though to her winning? They were just so okay with her winning. They were like, yes, she needs it. This is such a good win for her. No one was jealous that she just won 10 grand, not just 5 grand, 10 grand. No one had any animosity towards her. And they didn't even see her as really a competition threat after the competition either, which shocked me because she was rocking it.
I mean, yes. But I'm skipping way ahead, but she is nominated this week. And it doesn't seem to be one of those things because she won $10,000. It's just like, oh, I don't know her game. It's so funny to me that Christine's doing as well as she's doing, just in the sense that normally a 54-year-old woman or whatever she is would be like target enemy number 1. And she just seems to be kind of like floating her way through and nobody's really like gaming with her, but they're all really nice to her. So it just goes to show you like what good house guests are in the house this time around, I think.
Yeah, like genuine house guests, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, I was a little shocked on that. And
I
was also shocked by the way her veto speech went. Were
yeah.
you?
Yeah, a little bit.
She was one of those players that I think if she sticks around after this week and wins the next HOH, I think she's going to be one of those people that the power goes straight to her head. She's going to be Queen Christine and everyone's going to hear it all week.
Yeah.
And because the way she conducted that veto meeting, she was very like, I've won the veto. This is how it's going. You deserve to be on the block.
Yeah.
Like, she was throwing around more power than she really has in the house.
Right.
All she does is sleep and wear leopard print. Let's face this.
She does wear a lot of leopard print to the point where it's like, okay, we get it. You're a cougar.
Yeah. So anyhow, I don't know. That was my opinion on it. I was shocked by how much power she believed she had with that veto.
Yeah, especially with like $10,000 under her belt. Like, you think you want to like keep low in that situation, but she didn't.
Yeah, no, she definitely didn't. Anyway, moving on. So then we go to eviction, and Levita and Shari, sorry, not Sherry. They're, supposed to be duking it out. Well, actually, Levita started out saying, "Oh, if I win veto, I'll definitely take Shari off the block. I feel so awful. She's up there for me." Blah blah blah. She ends up turning the whole week around by gaming so hard to stay in the house no matter what the cost, being completely ruthless, even to her dearest friend Shari. She threw her under the bus on feeds. I don't remember if that aired on the live show,
Yeah.
but she was basically doing whatever she could to stay in that. So it's
But
funny how
at
big.
the same time, that I'd rather somebody like that stay in. And I mean, she did, because she was so, like, she hustled and people respected it. But you're right. Like, she said one thing and then she did a completely other thing. So also, my biggest question while watching Levita is this: why does she always wear so many hats? I wrote that down and brought it in here because I wanted to talk about it. She always has hats on. I'm like, you are a gorgeous woman, and I am not opposed to a hat every once in a while, but take them off. You look weird. You're like, they both were up for eviction and they didn't know how it was going to go, or maybe they did. And she had like a hat on. She looked like she was going to a frat party.
Because you know what I think she did? I think her prep work for Big BB Can 4 was going and studying Derek's season and the last season of Big Brother US. I think she studied both.
Okay.
I honest to God think she did. And I think she's modeling her game between Vanessa and Derek, because
Vanessa.
Vanessa Russo, because her strategy going into the house, if you remember back when we talked about that a couple weeks ago, she said she's going to make a lot of promises and she's going to do whatever she took, and it didn't matter how many lies or whatever she had to do, she was just going to do whatever it took. And between Derek and Vanessa, she's kind of,
Yeah.
between them, and I think she's taking over the Vanessa role with her hats. That's who she reminds me of.
Oh, that Vanessa, right? Yes. I forgot about her.
Same hat over and over again. At least Levita's switching
So
it up a little.
annoying. I know, but I just hate the hats. I'm just like, we get it. We get it. Sorry, I'm not being rude. I'm just tweeting.
It's necessary. It's
I
necessary.
got a new phone and it's humongous.
Oh, there's so much screen to tweet.
I'm so happy. I feel like a new woman.
Too, for sure. And then, on that same episode, they were doing the OxyClean tasks. So
Right?
the task where Joel and Cassandra, they had to clean everyone's laundry, and they had to decide 2 pieces of clothing that each house guest would give up to charity. And little did they know, the house guests were supposed to act really heartbroken that these 2 pieces of clothing were gone. And then Big Brother said, well, if you want to give it back to the house guests and sacrifice all your clothing to charity, then we'll allow you to do that. And then they ended up doing that after a little conversation in the Have Not room. And I just think that honestly just really plays to both their characters as being genuine, sincere, like giving people, that they would sacrifice all of their clothing and belongings for these house guests that they barely know. And not just for game reasons, but also because they actually wanted to give their clothes to charity, or clothes to charity. I think it was just awesome. And as much as Cassandra's playing up this big diva character to the cameras, that just kind of showed her true colors, really, that she's genuine. I don't know. I really liked it. And I grew this fond love for Joel after that episode, because he was talking about how, he was diagnosed with Tourette's and how hard it's been, and how he's just kind of overcome it, and how the Big Brother house has just really opened the door for more confidence in himself, which was just amazing and made me want to root for him more than I'd already been rooting for him.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's so funny because Joel, like, for me, is like, oh yeah, he's like a geeky guy and he's cute and whatever. But like, it's so nice when like somebody like that goes in who's like socially awkward and has a hard time like meeting new people, and for people to be so open and so warm to him. I don't even think it's a strategy. I think he's just that guy, and I think he's a lovable guy, and you just kind of want to like be his buddy. And I I do always worry that when he gets like tasked with the challenges, and he got tasked with another one last night on Sunday's episode, he takes it so to heart. He gets very worried that he's going to hurt the house. And I wonder if that will play into his strategy, because inevitably he's going to hurt people, and inevitably he's going to have to do things. Had he won HOH, he would have been having a panic attack, I think. But I'll be curious to see when he actually has to like play the game, because he seems so like beat up about like, you know, getting the host mad at him because they take away a piece of clothing or whatever. Or maybe it's just like he just is beside himself with certain things. But I don't know. He's interesting to me. That's all.
Yeah, no, he is. And I don't know if also part of it is the fact that Joel actually is a BB Can fan. And maybe he thinks that Canada is tasking him for all these things. Like, because he was tasked for that. And then this week we just saw on the last episode that he was tasked for the Marsh of the Moose task to go on this date. So maybe he's thinking Canada, like, it really wants him to do these things too. Like, he doesn't know what Canada's voting for,
Yeah.
right? Maybe he feels not only the house pressure, like of letting down his newfound friends, but also letting down Canada. Maybe he's thinking that's playing into it.
Yeah.
Because I've seen in previous seasons, Canada is very involved in our game. So you never know what's running through his head. But my heart goes to him. It really does. Yeah, really liking Joel. And he's
Yeah,
not
me
on.
too.
That's the worst part. He's not on Team Mel.
I gotta say, I am loving my roster this year, like on so many different levels, because they're so like all over the place. I'm obsessed with Phil. Oh my god, like obsessed. I want him and Nikki to get together so bad. I don't even physically see them together because she's so like buttocks, blah blah blah, and he's all like, I am intrigued by you. Like, I don't even think he knows why he's intrigued. Like, it's so interesting to me.
Want to know why I'm intrigued by her?
Why?
Because she's probably the first girl that's had shown no real interest in him, and that he actually has to work for her or think about working for her, or just doesn't know how to approach the situation because she's just not even like, even her body language when they sit on the same couch, like they were on the same couch yesterday on Feeds and they were talking about, it was so hilarious. She was so funny yesterday, like things not to say to a girl to pick them up on Feeds, like do not lift your shirt. She's like, don't ask me for a drink, send a bottle of champagne. And he's like, champagne, I can't afford these things. And she's like, you want to talk to me, send me champagne. Like, I don't even think he knows the caliber of a girl he is dealing with. This girl is, because of BBUK, she is super like stardom. Like, UK treats their Big Brother house guests like stars, because the country votes on this, right? So I don't think he realizes the stardom he is actually trying to fish out of this pond. That's how I look like.
I just love when a man looks so confused by what's happening, because I think you're making a really good point, because every other woman's like, oh, hello, hello, and like I feel like that's how he generally is approached by women. I mean, he's 20 something years old, he's attractive, he's fit, he's got a lot going for him, so he never has to try, right? But he's just like completely like a deer in headlights with her. Like, you can see that he's like, I don't get it, I don't understand. And that's like kind of like exciting to see. Like, I so want them to hook up, because I think she'll just like pummel him like emotionally.
Not just emotionally, but physically. She will be a feisty little
Minx.
minx in the bed. Yes, I was looking for the right word. I am currently putting our link on Facebook right now. Yeah, no, it would be interesting to see that storyline go, and I think Big Brother is kind of pushing for it to go in that direction, like from, you know, just what they're doing with them. But I don't think Nikki's having any of it. She's just probably like, no, no, no.
I love her and Tim together, because I think he just like eggs her on. He's like a big brother that's just like, do it, do it, do it. And he's like, here's your wine, complain more to the complaint department. And it's so funny, because when they put that complaint department in, I had to laugh, because like growing up when I was a kid, I mean, I don't know if you know, you probably do, you've been friends with me for like 15 years, but I tend to be a bit dramatic. So My dad would be like, tell it to the complaint department. And the complaint department was our back door. Like we would have to go out on the deck and talk outside to no one.
Amazing.
Terrible. So when I saw the complaint department, I was like, that's amazing.
No, I think it's great. It'll be really funny when they do a bit about the people that have gone into the complaint cupboard and it's just all complaints. I think it'll be super funny.
What do you think
Uh,
Joel will complain about?
I don't know. It's probably his favorite cereal being not properly
Well,
stocked
and
or something.
he's been a have-not for quite some time. So I think he's pretty lanky and uncomfortable in those like wedding chapel beds, I'm sure. So I think he's just kind of like, but he seems like he's like one of those guys who's like, I don't care, I'm here, I'm having a good time, I have all these new friends. Like I think he's really enjoying the experience. So I'd be curious to see anything he complains about. But I think you're right, cereal might be one of them.
That's what I see him saying. I really want my Captain Crunch cereal. That's the first thing I want when I'm not a have not. I need it or something like that. That's what I can see him saying into the complaint cupboard. And then at the end being like, sorry, big brother.
I love it.
Something.
I love it.
But let's talk about Levita's HOH and how much of a sketch case she's turned into, like a complete sketch case. I've been watching on feeds. I can't get enough of it. I am obsessed with watching her because she is blowing up everything. She even went as so far as 2 days ago to try and blow up Tim's game, which I was like sending daggers out on Twitter about because her and Mitch too, he was in the HOH room completely throwing Tim under the bus because I know he recognizes Tim as being a huge threat. And they're sitting there talking about how he stirs the pot. He's just here to like throw everybody's game under the bus, how,
Right.
like really have to watch him. And almost Mitch was egging her on to potentially backdoor him with the veto. That's what he was doing. And I was
Yeah.
mouth on, like jaw dropped. And I was really not happy about it, as you know. But yeah, like we won't give any spoilers just yet as to who won the veto if our viewership doesn't know. But yeah, I was not happy with that gameplay. But I mean, it had to be played. Like somebody had to wake up and smell the game that Tim was playing eventually. A
Mhm.
lot of people just in awe with how much he knows about the game and they all respect him, like all of them do. And I think that's what when Mitch was just like, no, this is a threat, we need him out. He's playing a smart strategic game and that's the game Mitch probably wants to be playing. And in
Right.
order to win Big Brother, you have to make your case at the end as to why you deserve it. And so I get why Mitch was doing it, but why Levita was doing it was completely preposterous to me because Tim and Nikki made the case for her to stay last week. They're the reason she's still in the house. So anyhow, in my opinion anyway, but what do
Yeah,
you
I don't know. Like when she got HOH, one, I was surprised. Two, I I gotta say I was a little bit disappointed because there's so many of them in the house right now. Like it's so fresh and new and all that kind of stuff. And I kind of feel like I've seen Levita be HOH. I've had that week, so I'm ready for like different people to get in there. I'm ready for different diary room letters. Or sorry, not diary, HOH room letters. I'm ready for like different strategies to come out. And I kind of feel like I already knew the second she went up there, and like I was like, okay, she's gonna play a safer week, and she's gonna make amends with like Jared and Kelsey, because this is her opportunity to be like, I'm your buddy. And she put up two weak people who everyone's like, I don't care if they go. Like, neither of them are playing a strong game. So it's just like really interesting to me just because like I could care less if Cassandra or Christine goes home. Like I think like the house feels that way too. She didn't put up anybody. She played very, very safe. And I don't think like, I mean, it was up to her and Joel. I don't think Joel would have played it any differently, but at least like I want to see someone like Mitch or Dallas, who you can't predict what he's gonna do. Like I want to see something different happen. So I just kind of felt a little bit cheated when she got HOH again. And that wasn't anybody's fault. Like I mean, she won it fair and square, but I don't know. I was just kind of like, I've done it. So I'm not as like I just kind of feel like this is just a crap week. Like it's good and the feeds are great, but I'm just like, okay, well, she's just like if Cassandra goes, oh, who cares? I mean, and if Christine goes, bye. Like So I'm just ready for like Thursday night to come so I can see who gets HOH next.
Well, I just think the other thing was she really didn't want to take any. The thing that was bothering me, from what I could tell from feeds, is she was going around interviewing everybody, seeing who everybody wanted up, and basically wanting somebody to fully put all of her eggs or put all of their eggs in her basket and commit to her. No one
Yeah.
was doing it. It was frustrating the hell out of her, and I could see that. But on top of that, no one was coming right out and saying, except for the odd few like Maddie and what's his name there? Oh yeah, Dallas, the East Coast guy. Um, he was doing it. They were coming right out and saying, "Do that, do this," but she really wasn't wanting to fully
Shake the
commit.
boat.
No, to any big moves this week. And I get that her first HOH, she tried to make a big move and it failed, but it was the first week. What do you expect? You can't make that big, in my opinion,
Right.
that big of a play coming right out of the gate. You have to be strategic with it. And if you are trying to make that big of a play, then you can't come right out and say it to the person.
Yeah,
You have
no,
to
sure.
have the votes to do it
He
before
just seems
you go
so
ahead and
confident week one, and now it's just this like small, like it feels like I don't know. To me, it feels like week one should have been Cassandra and Christine. Week three should have been Kelsey and Jared. Like, I think if it was flipped, it just would be so much more intriguing. But like, if we watch on Thursday and Jared and or Kelsey wins HOH, I'm gonna be like, oh come on, like somebody else get it. Like I don't want them to win. I want a wild card. I would really like to see Mitch win, but I think he's playing like a game like Peter, and I think he's gonna be really quiet for a really long time. Like he's just playing like low key. I would, but like picture someone like Ramsey getting it, or Raul getting it. Like that would be like, okay, let's do this. But right now it's just going back and forth between the two of them. Like I'm like, okay, someone else. That's how I feel anyway.
I totally agree. Moving into that segue, let's talk about what's been going on feeds. So feeds have been completely just like I want popcorn every time I'm watching them because it's been class act feeds. Everybody's just strategizing in their own little way. Um, the brothers are doing an amazing job from what I can see.
Agreed.
They're both keeping each other completely in check. Like at one point, Phil was cuddling with Maddie,
Oh,
or not Phil,
Nick.
Nick was cuddling with Maddie, sorry. And Phil pulled him aside like straight away and was like, no, she will fuck our game.
Yeah.
Not to mention, Maddie has a boyfriend. So I don't know why that was happening anyway, but yeah, they're really, really focused and they're in a really good spot in the house. The brothers are.
Well, but that's the thing, right? Like they have each other, and when they misstep or they make like every time, like when like I don't anybody, like anyone, if you had a sibling or a loved one in there, would pull you aside. Like I would know without even like looking at you. Like I could look at you and be like, you're done. Like and that's the thing. Like if you have that kind of person in there helping your game, it is a completely different thing. The fact that they're not target enemy number one is amazing, and I can't wait to see how this plays out. Like I want them to win HOH so bad, because then like lines are going to be drawn, but I think they're going to be laying low for a little bit at two. Like I don't know, I'm just really intrigued by the brothers. I really didn't think Phil would play this good of a game, and I think Nick coming in is only like benefiting him in a big way.
Yeah, I completely agree. Dallas and Maddie are playing surprisingly, like a lot of people aren't gunning for them as hard as I imagine they would, but they are playing a pretty in your face kind of game.
Yeah.
Uh, on the feeds anyway, from what I see. But I don't watch a whole lot of their game on the feeds. I check in, and the longest I'm on that feed camera, if they're on a feed camera, is like 10 seconds because I honestly cannot stand to hear Maddie talk. She's the most pessimistic person I've ever listened to talk. And
Mm-hmm.
she's just it's always raining on her. And I would rather follow Tim around and he is just all over the place, even if he's just sitting there talking to his spider, who I love, by the way, Marinara. And he'd be talking about a spider for half an hour. And I'd rather listen to Tim talk about a spider for half an hour than listen to Maddie talk 10 minutes of strategy on the game. I
Yeah.
completely only tolerate her for 30 seconds at the most on those feeds. So those are
You
two
know
people
what I'm so surprised by? The
who
fact that like they're in this house all day, and I understand like, you know,
I want you to answer when you this thought. Are you feeling differently about Nikki this week than you did last week when you're done this thought?
mm, I'll finish my thought and then I'll give you my answer. I was just gonna say, I'm always surprised that they don't take a little bit more like pride in their appearance, just because like I think that they underestimate how many people watch. I'm just like, oh my goodness, just throw on like some makeup. Like Cassandra's whole thing is like, oh yeah, beautiful, blah blah blah. I'm like Kardashian basically, and she like wears like onesies and slippers every day. I'm like, oh my gosh, like even on like the worst days, I would throw on some like makeup, like a little bit of mascara never hurt anyone. I am always so surprised by that. I always like appreciate Nikki for doing it. Like at least she looks like she tries. Like the rest of them are just like, Maddie's always in jogging pants. I'm like, you're not Drake. Get it together.
Yeah, but Nikki is used to the whole of the whole of Australia, I was going to say, the whole of UK watching her and the whole of UK voting for her. So she's used to constantly being on for the camera, right? I think after a while though, from what I've listened to from other podcasts of host guest talk, is that after a while you don't even remember the cameras are there. That's what they say when I listen to other, you know,
Yeah,
BB
I
Can.
suppose.
I can kind of see that happening, but I think I would still be super conscientious of the fact that I'm on camera and at least be throwing myself together a little bit, like trying a little bit. Maybe not like the full extent I'd be trying for like the HOH ceremony or like the POV ceremony or things that like are getting time, but people are watching you all the time, and Big Brother has a huge online live feed following,
Yeah.
like huge.
Yep.
Like this is what do for like they stay home and they tweet all day long about what's going on the live feeds. Like that's their life, and I totally respect it because I rely on those people at a 12-hour day shift. I'm like checking into my hamster watch, checking into my UG or whatever Bronx there. I know I got it wrong, but I'm checking into those people and I'm saying, please update me on what's going on because it's been a whole 12 hours of not knowing what's gone on for
Right.
strategy and in the house. But I'm a huge fan. So yeah.
You want to hear what I think of Nikki?
Yeah. What? Tell me.
I like her enough. And when I say that, I mean I like her like I liked Frankie Grande. Like I was like, I get you and I get your game and you're clearly like good entertainment, but I don't really respect the way like that she will not win. And if she wins, I will be very surprised. I just kind of feel like she's great entertainment. I'm so glad they put her in the house. I'm so glad they put Tim in the house. I think it would be boring if the two of them weren't in there. But I kind of feel as if, yeah, like I enjoy her. I respect what she's doing. But I would never be friends with somebody like that in real life because I know she'd have one drink and she'd just be that friend that like is crying and we'd have to go home. You would never be able to predict what evening you were having with her or what day you were having with her. And I don't know, like I'm too old for that shit. Like I would just be like, you need to get your life in check. Like stop being a child. Like there's things you can freak out about and I have anxiety too, but like when you freak out like that over like he had an extra drink, you need to get your life in gear. So I don't know, but I enjoy her for an entertainment value. Like I wouldn't want Levita in there the only like I'm like, oh wow, like she was like that bitch won everything. Like that's what Cassandra said, right? About her. And she couldn't even like take it like I don't even think it was like malicious. I don't think it was. I think she does call everyone a bitch. I think that's her like that's the way people talk today. And I think Levita's very serious and takes everything with like a lot of like it's black and it's white and there's no in between with her. So I don't know, but like with Nikki, like it's surprising that Nikki and Levita are such good friends because I think like Nikki's so upfront. Like if she's like that bitch won it again, like I think Levita would be like, oh, that's just her. But Cassandra, it sounds shady, right?
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. However, I like Nikki and I would not, I mean, she does have entertainment value, but I did not enjoy, I didn't enjoy Frankie Grande on Big Brother US. I
I
didn't.
listened to a podcast with Frankie Grande this morning, and it was just like, I go wind sailing, and I have a cologne, and my sister is Ariana Grande, and I was like, oh my god, we get it. Like, and you know what? At the same time, like, I completely respect what he's doing because that kid's got major hustle. And if you are like, what? Let's say Frankie's like 35, like he's doing his thing and he's working for it. So can you fault him for that? No, but this is Nikki's fourth time on Big Brother. She shouldn't be surprised that, like, where's the wine? Blah blah blah. I was like, oh my god, like it's all an act. It has to be.
The thing is in Big Brother UK and Big Brother Australia, they well, from what I saw of UK Big Brother Celebrity or Big Brother, what is Celebrity Big Brother? I'm saying it wrong, but forgive me. They get a lot. Like pretty much, they have an open booze kind of policy over there. They get much more than we get, and we get much more than the US gets. So imagine.
I'm
Just
glad that
imagine.
I would like them to do what they did with John and Allison, and like remember the time they put them in a room and they just got hammered? Like that was one of the funniest Big Brother Canada episodes I've ever seen.
What is if Big Brother brought John and brought Ali back in to host that dance party to introduce Tim and Nikki to drinking with Newfies or something like that.
Yeah,
Like
they
they did
got
a Newfie
screeched
bit
in.
with, yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I
Like we
agree.
should show on Twitter. Like, yes,
That would
that's
be
gonna be done when we're done with the
amazing.
podcast. But no, that would be actually amazing. Like same setup, but screeching them in and talking noof to them and having Nikki and Tim go in the DR after and be like, what the fuck did they just
I know that would be amazing. But I think like think about John Party and like Nikki together. Like I don't think they'd ever hook up, but I think they'd be such good entertainment together. I really she's growing on me for what she is. She's great entertainment. I would never be friends with someone like that in real life. Tim, I totally would be. I think he's really funny, he's genuine, and I think that he also is like he's entertainment, but in the fact of like he knows what he's doing. I don't think she knows what she's doing. Like she's so like oh blah blah. Oh, not for me. Not for me. But he's great, and I love his hair. There's no one else. Like I'm like as soon as you said Jared's nasally voice, it's all I hear now. Like I like to do this and I like to do that. And I'm like, okay, Jared, cool. And Kelsey's like, so, oh no, I have no time for her. I don't like her at all. I want to see more from what's her name? Oh shit, I can't remember. Well, I don't know. Whatever. There's just so much happening. I'm just ready for the brothers to do something.
Yeah, I I'm just waiting for I want either Tim or Nikki to be HOH. And the other thing that happened on feeds that was kind of monumental was Kelsey decided to say to Tim, "Oh, so who are we voting out this week? Are we voting out Cassandra or are we voting out Christine? Nikki's just gonna do whatever you want her to do, right?" And Tim was brushing his teeth while she asked him this because she asked him, not just him, but asked him in front of a few people in the bathroom. I think it was Joel and Cassandra.
Mm-hmm.
And Tim and then rolled his eyes because basically what she was doing is not just pointing out the fact that Nikki has no strategy in this game, but pointing out the fact that he controls her and therefore has that extra vote and is trying to point it out to other people. And I didn't like it and he didn't like it. And anyways, but it is kind of what's been going on this week because Nikki has this week on feeds anyway, I find she's been super quiet. She's been listening more, she's been talking, much to not what like Big Brother Canada is really highlighting her outbursts on the show, of course, because it's entertainment, right? But on feeds, she's listening so much. Her and Tim are always together pretty much 90% of the time,
Mm-hmm.
but she's really taking it all in and starting to play the game. Because at first I didn't know if she really wanted to be there to play the game. I thought she just wanted to be there to have a good time, to basically be there for the entertainment value of this.
Mm-hmm.
However, now I think she's actually in it to win it. Like she's trying to play, which I respect. Like I'm happy to see that side of her. So anyway, yeah. I'm really enjoying the feeds. Like I
Who
really
do you
enjoy
think
it.
might get kicked out this week? And does it
Okay,
matter?
spoiler alert. So Dallas wins the veto. He really wants to use it, but he doesn't want to use it unless he knows that he's going to get the people he wants put up by Levita. Levita is fighting on that fish. No, she's not. She's not. So, anyhow, so I don't think he's going to end up using it. And I think that Christine's going to end up going home, and it's going to be such a waste of an HOH for Levita.
Yeah,
And
agreed.
then next week, if
So leave with her $10,000 and be gone. You know, who cares?
yeah, but I think next week if Kelsey or Jarrett win, or even Raul win, they're going to put her back up and get her out. And I even think if Maddie and Dallas win, they're not going to put up who they actually want up. They're going to just play it safe next week if they win HOH, and probably vote out Levita too. I think that's how it's going to go. Unfortunately, that's my predictions. I don't think anyone is prepared to rock the boat this point in the game, except for Tim. If he gets put up, he's like, isn't that the point of the game? Aren't we supposed to be getting out our targets? Like, why is everybody paying
That's
so
why you say it, right? So but I gotta say, my roster this year, holy crap, I never win, right? Never, ever, ever. It is, let me count how much points I have versus what you have. 10, 20, 30, hold on, math, 8, 40. I have 46 versus 8.
I know it's my roster is looking very dismal.
And you know what? Don't lose hope, because this was me last year. And I was so defeated. But now I feel like a champion. This is what champions feel like. Because I don't think Cassandra's getting out. I think they're gonna get Christine out. She's got her $10,000. If Cassandra's smart, she would be like talking to everybody about her winning that $10,000, and that, like, you know, whatever. She's old. She can't do it. Blah blah blah. That's not fair to say. Like, she's not, like, she's played a great game. Like, whatever. Who cares? She hasn't done anything. I think Cassandra's at least, like, in the game. She's somewhat entertaining. Like, oh god, no, not for Christine.
I don't want to see Cassandra go, but I'd like to see her go for my roster.
She's not going. Oh man. And Shari, like, I mean, I saw this thing on, like, Facebook where Shari was like, oh, it was just too much of a threat to them to keep them in. Do you think that's true? Because I do not think that's true. I just think that, like, Levita promised a lot of things, and people are stupid enough to be like, oh, okay, well, yeah. And she's kept her promise. She didn't put Jared up, you know, like, she's done everything she was supposed to do. But I don't think Shari was seen as a real threat. I'm like, what did you do? Nothing. Bye.
But the thing is, no, she wasn't seen as a threat. She didn't play the potential that I believe she could have played. It's too bad. However, Levita, like you said, made a lot of promises that she kept. And she made a great point of saying, listen, I'll be a target next week. We all know I'm going to be a target. So keep me. I'm a target in front of you getting voted out. And that is what went through everyone's mind. It went through the brothers' mind for sure, because they're like, yep, no one's going to be looking at us. They're going to be looking at her again. And it went through Jared and Kelsey's mind, of course, which I was shocked. They wanted her out and they kept her in. That blew my mind. But
yeah,
that's the rationale, I think, behind it. And Tim just wanted to keep her in because he is intrigued by Levita. That's what he said on feeds. You intrigue me. Your game intrigues me. I do a terrible Australian accent, but anyhow. So yeah. Anyhow, that's the week of Big Brother according to us, Nova Scotia girls. We would be more than happy to hear what you thought of our thoughts on this week of Big Brother. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. Tweet at us at Big Brother Breakdown 902, and we will of course be chatting feeds all week. and as well as the shows when they live. When
And
can
if you watch this and you want to tell your friends to watch it, tell them. We do this all the time. We do it weekly. We'll let you know when we're doing it. It's not as consistent as some people's, but we always do it weekly. So tell your friends that we're doing this because we're going to continue to do it. And it's a lot of fun.
It is. We talk about it anyway. So why not blog about it and talk about it live with all of you people that love Big Brother as much as we do. It's awesome. It makes us feel like less Big Brother nerdy because we have all these people
More
that
Big Brother nerdy.
live for it as much as we do. So please tweet at us. We will respond. We love to talk Big Brother and we love doing this. We will later this week, we'll figure out a time that will be airing for next week. As we mentioned earlier in the podcast, I'm a shift worker, so my shifts vary. So we will definitely be letting you know on Twitter for sure when we will be airing next week.
And if you have any questions for us that you want to know what we think about a certain person or a certain play or whatever, just tweet that as well because we'll answer that on the next one. I don't know if we ever figured out if Jared said Emmett, but I'm pretty sure I was right?
I'm pretty sure you were. I'm pretty sure you were because Emmett talked.
I'm like looking at my host for somebody to be like, you did a good job.
Yay, Lindsay.
Woo!
All right. So we'll see you all next week. Have a good week of live feeding and Big Brother watching. Good night.
Bye.